What's up guys? Ashish here, back with another video. Today, we're diving into something crucial for every single developer out there, cybersecurity. Imagine this, you've spent months, maybe even years, pouring your heart and soul into building this amazing app. It's live, users are flocking in and then boom, one tiny little vulnerability, like an SQL injection, and poof, all your hard work gone. So in this video, I'm going to break down the top cybersecurity essentials that every developer, whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro, absolutely needs to know. So buckle up, grab your coffee, and let's get this cybersecurity party started. Alright, first up, we've got input validation. Never, and I repeat, never trust user input blindly. Treat it like that suspicious samosa. You gotta check it before you wreck it. Every input field in your app, every form, every search bar, it's a potential entry point for some bad code to sneak in. So what do? You validate. Check if the data entered is actually the type of data you're expecting. And don't just validate on the client side, thinking your fancy JavaScript is gonna save the day. Do it on the server side too. Client-side validation is like putting a flimsy lock on your door. Server-side validation is where the real security magic happens. Next up, sanitization. This is where you clean up that user input, get rid of any potentially harmful characters, and escape anything that looks fishy. Remember, input validation and sanitization, my friends. It's not glamorous, it might seem tedious, but trust me, it's a million times easier than dealing with a security breach. Alright, so we've tackled user input, now let's talk about the gatekeepers of our apps. Authentication and authorization. In simple terms, authentication is about verifying who a user is, and authorization is about what they're allowed to do once they're in. Think of it like a club. Authentication is the bouncer checking your ID, and authorization is the VIP list that determines whether you get past the velvet rope. Now, when it comes to passwords, we're not messing around with plain text storage. We're hashing those passwords, people. Hashing is like turning your password into a secret code that's virtually impossible to reverse engineer. And hey, while we're at it, let's talk about two-factor authentication, or 2FA. With 2FA, even if someone steals your password, they'll still need a second form of verification, like a code from your phone to get in. Remember guys, authentication and authorization are not one-time setups. You got to keep evolving your security measures as new threats emerge. Chapter 3. HTTPS. Because even localhost deserves some love and security. Okay, let's talk about HTTPS, shall we? Because let's be real. Who here hasn't been guilty of spinning up a quick localhost server and just rolling with HTTP? I mean, it's just for testing, right? Wrong. Bad developer, bad. Even localhost deserves to be treated with some respect. And that means HTTPS all the way, baby. Look, I get it. Setting up SSL certificates and messing around with configurations can feel like a chore, especially when you're just trying to get something up and running quickly. But trust me, it's nowhere near as scary or complicated as it used to be. Plus, there are tons of awesome tools out there that make it a breeze. Think about it this way, HTTPS is like encrypting the conversation between your user's browser and your server. Without HTTPS, your data is out there in the open, ripe for the picking by any malicious actors lurking on the network. So, do yourself, your users, and even your localhost server a favor and make the switch to HTTPS. Your future self will thank you. Chapter 4. Storing sensitive data. Proceed with extreme caution and encryption. Alright folks, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, storing sensitive data. First things first, the golden rule. Avoid storing sensitive data unless it's absolutely, positively 100% necessary. Ask yourself, do I really need to store this Aadhaar number? Is it crucial for my app to have access to this user's PAN details? If the answer is anything less than a resounding yes, then find another way. But hey, I get it. Sometimes you just gotta store sensitive data. So, if you absolutely must, then for the love of all that is holy, encrypt it. And I'm not just talking about encrypting it in transit, like when it's being sent from the user's browser to your server. Encrypt that data like your life depends on it, because you know what? Your users' privacy might actually depend on it. Chapter 5. Security Headers and CSP. Putting up fences to keep the bad guys out. Alright, let's talk about security headers and content security policy, or CSP. These are like the unsung heroes of web security, working behind the scenes to protect your users from all sorts of nasty attacks. Think of security headers as instructions you send from your server to the user's browser, telling it how to behave and what to watch out for. One important header is the X-frame options header. This little guy helps prevent clickjacking attacks. Then we have the X-content type options header, which tells the browser to only load resources that match the content type specified in the header. And of course, we can't forget about content security policy, or CSP. This is a super powerful tool that lets you control exactly which sources of content are allowed to load on your website. The best part? Implementing these security headers and CSP is actually pretty straightforward. There are tons of great resources available online, and you can even use tools like Google Lighthouse to check your work and see how your website stacks up in terms of security. Chapter 6. Level up your cybersecurity game. And there you have it, folks. Those are just a few of the essential cybersecurity practices that every developer needs to know. Remember, building secure applications is not a one-time thing, it's an ongoing process. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a lock emoji in the comments if you're already using any of these practices in your own projects, or if you learned something new today. And if you're hungry for more cybersecurity goodness, smash that like button and let me know you want a part 2 with even more advanced techniques like token expiration, rate limiting, and securing those pesky APIs. Hit that subscribe button and join the community so we can build smarter, safer, and more awesome applications together.